mentioned yesterday, he's got a great temperament for coaching a group of guys that are superstars, if you will.
You see Jerry Colangelo there to the left, the managing director of the USA basketball program, and LeBron James getting everybody ready here in Macau. Do they love LeBron in China or what?
Well, I think they've embraced Team USA. You're talking about a country with over 1 billion people and 300 million people who play basketball in some way, shape, or form.
And even more that love the game of basketball. The colors for today's game: Lithuania in green and white, the United States of America in white. And we are ready to go. And it'll be interesting to see, as I mentioned, Linus Kleza, teammate with Carmelo Anthony on Denver. They have gone at it before in international competition. They like to talk a little smack to each other. And we are underway. The United States with the first possession.
Well, the next 3 games in this exhibition tour, as Kobe Bryant knocks a shot down, all 3 teams are in Group A. So Russia, Australia, and now Lithuania, teams that Team USA can see again.
In the medal round, because the United States in Group B. And here is Šarūnas Jasikevičius missing the first shot of the game for Lithuania. They're a fantastic three-point shooting team.
Well, they really are. They're well coached by Ramūnas Putautas. Very solid in execution.
Here we go. The first dunk of the game from Dwight Howard, and he has barely missed in these exhibition games. He was 7 of 8 yesterday, 10 of 11 in the first 2 games, and a steal by Kidd. Carmelo Anthony down in a heap. He's okay. LeBron James, a no-look into Dwight. It's not a dunk, but it is a lay-in, plus the foul for Dwight Howard.
Boy, this is a quick start for Team USA, and they don't run a lot of offense through Dwight Howard, but you get an example of how strong he is. Look how deep he gets the ball in the post, and you're talking 260 pounds of live wire.
And you're talking about Yaptakis, 6'11", 250. I mean, he's a rare guy, internationally speaking, who has the body type to hang with a Dwight Howard.
Well, he really does, and at one time in his career, he was a really intriguing NBA prospect and has turned into a solid player in Europe. Played his high school ball in Akron, Ohio.
Here is Jasikevičius, gobbled up by Kobe Bryant, almost forced into a turnover. Saved by Yaptakis. Oh, and he goes in and jams it down. Oh, my goodness.
Well,
and he says, Dwight Howard, if you can do it, I can as well.
Well, this is what we talked about. This guy is an intriguing athlete. Started at Arizona, was in a really serious motorcycle accident back in 2002. Lost his athleticism, but I'll tell you, over the ensuing years, he's gotten it back.
Kobe Bryant defended well, and he can't hit that shot. He was 1 of 5 yesterday, now 1 of 2 here today. Now, knocked away by Jason Kidd.
Lithuania is a team that loves to run, and they're also excellent in terms of half-court execution. Jasikevičius, the young man you talked about, played at Maryland, but their Achilles heel right now is they don't have great point guard play, particularly at his backup positions.
Jasikevičius, cold to start the game. Kidd gets right through, feeds to Howard, and Howard lays it in. He's got 3 field goals early.
Boy, all you've got to do is run the floor if you're Dwight Howard, which he does well, by the way, and Jason Kidd will find you.
Here is Siskauskis.
Nice defense there. They're not letting him use the pick-and-roll screen.
Good pick-and-roll defense, and it's going to set up a sexy jam by LeBron James.
See, now that's one of those 3 or 4 different pick-and-roll defensive wrinkles that we're starting to see. They did not allow the ball handler to use the screen at the top and forced him away, and that slowed down Lithuania.
Early on, Lithuania has a dunk by Yaptakis to show for their efforts, but they need time. They are reeling early on.
ESPN's presentation of USA Basketball, brought to you by Chevy and American Revolution and McDonald's.
And we return you to Macau. Rick Hamler, Fran Fraschilla on the call. And out of the timeout, let's see what Lithuania comes up with. Jasikevičius has been shooting and missing early on.
Oh, see, I like this. Kobe Bryant now is guarding Jasikevičius, the only true ball handler. And this is going to cause Lithuania some trouble because they do not handle the ball well.
And an encore from LeBron James.
And good strategy by Coach K We talked about Kobe Bryant being the defensive stopper for Team USA. And look what he's doing to Jasikevičius now, forcing him to his left hand, putting enormous pressure on him.
Siskauskas on the move, throws it up with the left hand, and it's knocked off the rim, and you can do that in FIBA play.
Not only can you do it, but Team USA is starting to do it well.
Melo with the miss. Dwight Howard the rebound. Dwight Howard going for his 4th field goal. It's knocked away and saved by LeBron. No looks it into Dwight Howard. He missed the dunk. He's looking to the official for a foul. None coming. It's Lithuania ball. And as we take a look at Coach K-Fran, Team USA has gotten up to slow starts defensively in the first 2 games. That has not been the case here.
No, and I think it's primarily because they understand that through the years, Lithuania is one of the top clubs in the world. Now, they have some things going against them. There's no Ilgauskas from the Cavaliers. Darius Sangala from the Wizards is hurt. And Jasikevičius is starting to show some age. But this is a team that knocked them off in 2004 in the preliminary round in Athens.
And this Lithuanian team ranked 5th in the FIBA World Rankings. They are legit, but not showing it here early on. And a strip by Jason Kidd out of bounds. That was Rimantas Kaukanis driving for Lithuania. And they are under attack early on.
Well, they really are. Kaukanis, a guy that a lot of people remember, a very good player. At Seton Hall, he's become a terrific European player. But he's not really a pure point guard. But he can shoot it.
Although he misses there, Kobe Bryant up ahead to Jason Kidd. And Kidd just goes in and scores. I thought he was going to go over his ear to Carmelo for a vicious slam, but 14-2 USA.
But it's important for Jason Kidd to look for some scoring opportunities now, because when you get to Olympic play, people are going to back off him.
Krzysztof Lavrinovic, a big that can hit the 3. And Dwight Howard is fouled by Javtikas. That's his 2nd. And now a decision coming up for Lithuania, whether to get him out or leave him in. And as you can see there, 22-10 all-time in Olympic play. They've only been in 4 Olympics, all of them recent, and half of their losses have come to the United States.
Well, that's exactly right. As you see, Coach Butautas, whose father was a terrific player for the old Soviet Union. It's a great point because they've only been in Olympic play since '92, since the breakup of the Soviet Union. Now you see a little zone. First time we've seen zone against Team USA since early in the Canada game.
And Kobe Bryant showing you just how good he is. The athleticism, the fading, hanging, jump shot off glass. And Linas Kleiza has checked into the game, and at least on the defensive end for Lithuania, he was on Carmelo Anthony. And here is Carmelo Anthony up ahead of the pack. He goes glass, can't hit. Knocked away deftly by LeBron James and saved in. Look at the passing. Kidd to Dwight Howard and 1.
Well, see, right now, everything's been keyed by the defensive pressure in the half court, because we mentioned Lithuania doesn't handle the ball great, and that's opened up some great scoring opportunities. And remember, first 2 games, those guards of Team USA taking some chances, not coming up with the steals, giving up easy opportunities. Not today.
And that is foul number 3 on Javtikas. The United States rolling early 18-5 over Lithuania. The pre-Olympic tour for the USA basketball team continues. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and the rest of the squad representing red, white, and blue have 2 more pre-Olympic tune-ups coming on ESPN2. Sunday morning at 3 a.m. Eastern, the United States takes on Russia. Then Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern, USA faces Australia. USA basketball pre-Olympic games on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. So for Jason Kidd, he's perfect from the field in 2+ exhibition games. 2
for 2. He made a 3 the other night. Of course, the layup. And what's going to be interesting now is this is the best start this starting group has gotten off to in the 3 games. The lift has been from Mike Krzyzewski's bench. So very shortly you'll see him go to the bench, and let's see if Chris Paul, Darren Williams, and that group can keep this going.
Dwight Howard comes off a game against Turkey in which he had 14 points and 8 rebounds. Already has 8 points and 3 rebounds here. Give him 9, and it's 19-5 USA.
And Dwight Howard really the only poor foul shooter for Team USA, and that could be a factor in Olympic play. You look at the ball pressure by Kobe Bryant. See, when you talk about Lithuania and its great history, The problem they have right now is they're on the downturn of what's been a terrific run. Jasikevičius is now 32. Some of these guys have been around a long time. And again, ball handling is certainly an Achilles heel.
Here's Siskauskis over Dwight Howard. And Lithuania ice cold early on. It's Siskauskis right there. He is the reigning EuroLeague MVP. Dwight Howard being featured early. And good defense down low by Lithuania. Credit Krzysztof Lavrinovic with the takeaway. And LeBron James fouls him in the backcourt.
Lavrinovic, one of those guys who has become a very, very good player. In fact, can play in the NBA. He spent the past year in Italy, where he was one of the best players in that league. He's got a twin brother, Darius, who will be in soon.
And a look at the Olympic appearances for Lithuania. In 3 of their 4 appearances, they have medaled. They've never won silver or gold, but that's nevertheless impressive.
Well, keep this in mind. Lithuania is primarily responsible for NBA players being able to play in Europe. You see the pressure there by Kobe Bryant, because it was the core of the Soviet team back in 1988. Guys like Sabonis and the great Marshallonis. Kurtinitis, the great shooter who's now an assistant. Because of those guys, FIBA decided to open up basketball to professional players. And Lithuania now is its own country in its own right and doing pretty well on that international scene.
Dwyane Wade, Chris Paul. Now the backcourt for USA. And Dwyane Wade has been spectacular. 13 of 19 in his first 2 games back from injury. Kobe now playing the 3. Defended well. Siskauskis got right out on him, and Kobe hit it anyway.
Well, the thing is, you run your half-court offense. You try to get the easy look to Howard inside. But when that doesn't work, you do have the great individual play of guys like Bryant, James, and Anthony.
Kobe's now 3 of 4. Siskauskis misses again. Dwight Howard clobbered in the backcourt. The foul on Linus Kleza, one of the most improved players in the NBA a season ago. Got his average up into double figures at about 11 per game in about 24 minutes. George Karl said of him, he's the hardest working young player I've ever had.
Well, that's a heck of a compliment. I had a chance to watch him quite a bit at Missouri. And remember, I think he had 41 in the game this year against the Utah Jazz. So Linus Kleza, by the way, Montrose Christian High School in Maryland, where he played for Stu Vetter, who also coached the likes of guys like Kevin Durant. See the 2-3 zone now.
That's going in, baby. I mean, Kobe's hot. He's electric hot right now, and that was a pro 3. You knew that was going in from the moment it left his hand.
You go back to 2004 when this Team USA shot 31% from the three-point line. But when you talk about Michael Redd, Kobe, Carmelo, three-point shooting is relatively handled now by this team.
Loose ball, who wants it more? On this possession, Lithuania does. And the whistle goes against the United States of America, but they lead by 19.
This is impressive, Rick, because even though we mentioned the lack of ball handling by Lithuania, this is an experienced group with a lot of tough, hard-nosed guys. And early on, Team USA has imposed its defensive will on this team.
And finally, a basket from the perimeter for Lithuania, but here's Wade tracking it down. Oh, nice shake move. Goes up for the alley-oop. Nice catch by Dwight and a foul. Another foul on Linus Kleza. And we've seen different looks in these games. You know, we saw Paul and Williams together in Vegas. Coach K experimented with the LeBron James at center lineup yesterday, and it seems like there's more of a concerted effort to just pound it down low to Dwight Howard on almost every possession.
You know, it's a great point because you know you're going to get perimeter scoring. We talked about the fact that they don't run a lot of offense for Dwight Howard through him, but the unselfishness of guys like James and Wade and Kobe Bryant that we've seen throughout this tournament, and throw in, by the way, the point guard play. Dwight Howard is getting great looks inside because you have to concentrate on the perimeter.
Big Dwight hitting the free throw. Led the NBA in free throw attempts last season. Dwight shot a decent percentage, right around 60%. Better than Shaq.
Better than Shaq, but certainly an area that if he improves this, he's already turning into what is going to be one of the great centers in NBA history, health willing.
He could become, as Chris Bosh enters the game, with better free throw shooting, Dwight could become a 25, 27, 28 PPG guy. But as long as he's hitting 60%, it'll probably be 21 to 24 kind of thing.
No, I don't think there's any question. Again, you see a situation out top where they do not allow Lithuania to run pick and roll. And this is good because they're going to see Lithuania possibly again in medal play. Lithuania is in Group A, Team USA in Group B. You're sending a message a little bit, but more importantly, they've shown different pick and roll defensive looks, which other countries will go to school on, but also give other countries something to think about. In the NBA, in the course of a given season, an NBA team will play the pick and roll 7 or 8 different ways, and there's no longer the vanilla look by Team USA defensively.
Hard foul, teammate on teammate. Carmelo Anthony dragging down Linus Kleza. They are good buddies, but they love competing against each other.
And this guy, Kleza, you talk about a competitor, very physical guy, can play away from the basket, kind of an in-between, 3-4 type. And really, we mention this about Carmelo all the time, 2 guys that are the prototypical international 4-man because they're so versatile both inside and out.
Plays a very good three-point shooter, showing you the stroke at the line. Lithuania within 17. Chris Paul had it knocked away from behind, and the ball goes to Lithuania. So look at CP3, number 2 in the MVP voting a year ago, and the debate still rages, Fran. Kobe has the trophy, the MVP trophy, and people still want to give it to Chris Paul.
Well, he's done a magnificent job for Byron Scott, but, Kobe right now may be the best player on the planet, really.
I got LeBron James as the best player on the planet, but that's just me.
Let me tell you an interesting thing. When you look at the lineup they put out there yesterday with LeBron at the 5 and Carmelo at the 4, Wade, Bryant, and Paul, you may have had 5 of the 6 or 7 best players in the world on the floor at one time. Think about that for a second.
Okay, I just thought about it. Dwyane Wade tried to slip it through to Bosh. It's out to CP3. Shot clock an issue, down to 2. Paul hoists. And he hits. It's all good for USA basketball here in exhibition game number 3.
Now, he loves the runner in the lane. That time, that runner was a little bit out of his range.
All right, I've had a few seconds to think about it. Does Coach K call that lineup with LeBron at the 5 the best 5? Because that feels like the best 5 players on this team on the court at the same time.
Well, there's going to be times, as you see the block shot there's going to be times where they're going to have to deal with the likes of somebody like Yao Ming. But because LeBron is 260 and can really handle himself inside, take a look at Wade from the weak side here. Talk about help side defense. But when LeBron can manage the low post, they can get away with that lineup some.
Basket scored by Petrovicius, and you liked his play at the EuroLeague last year.
Absolutely. Young man who played at South Carolina for Dave Odom and is a late bloomer. Actually had a somewhat successful college career, but really coming into his own in the EuroLeague.
Marius Petrovicius, 28-year-old center. Played with Lietuvos Rytas in Lithuania a year ago, and Saras, that's his nickname, for Sarunas. I call him Euro Magic for the no-look passes.
Played for Gary Williams at Maryland. Didn't play early in his career, and last 2 years was sensational. No, he really is one of the great competitors in European history.
Deron Williams trapped in the corner, finds Carmelo. And the thought right there probably caused that miss.
Yeah, I think you're right. Carmelo doesn't miss many. He shoots a very high international percentage from 3.
And a strong drive to the hoop. That was a goaltending violation on the United States. So Lithuania within 14.
Now, what you want to do right now, if you're Mike Krzyzewski, is make sure that the intensity level stays very high, despite the fact they've gotten out to a quick lead, because Lithuania can shoot themselves back into it.
Dwyane Wade has a couple of free throws coming up, fouled by Kaukanis. Look at the ball dome of Dwyane Wade. He is focused singularly on winning gold. Doesn't want to worry about his hair. getting the clean cut or any of that stuff.
I think he just
wants to wound people over here and come home with gold.
Well, coming off a very injury-plagued season for the Miami Heat, this is sort of a fresh start for Dwyane Wade as he not only prepares for the Olympics but prepares for what he wants to be a return to form, if you will, once the NBA season comes around. You take a look at the remaining games. Russia in Group A, Australia with Andrew Bogut in Group A. So these 3 games are against opponents that they may see once they get to the medal round. Of course, Group B, as we talked about yesterday, has maybe the 3 best teams in the world right now when you add Spain and Greece to the mix. Argentina also in Group A. Argentina is a little bit like Lithuania in that they've had some injuries, they've had some retirements, and maybe not quite the juggernaut they've been in recent years.
And Coach K and the USA basketball program, they're not upset. They don't feel dissed that they got put into the tougher group. They want that. They want to be seasoned and medal play ready when they hit medal play.
Well, I think that's a great point. If you look back to 2006 in the World Championships, the really only tough game they had in group play was against a game Italian team, but certainly not at the level of teams like Greece and Spain and Argentina that they saw later on. The key in Olympic play, as you know, Rick, is you just want to be in the top 4 of your group of 6, because once you get to the medal round, everything becomes one and done. The tougher opponents you see early, the more ready you get to play in that medal round.
So let me ask you this. There's a potential that the United States could match up with Lithuania in medal play.
Yeah.
And so this is an exhibition game. What is the game plan coaching-wise in terms of showing something, not showing other stuff? Do you decoy as Chris Bosh hammers it down?
Well, you do. In my opinion, you do. Now, Lithuania doesn't want to get off to a start where they're down by this much. But what you want to do is you want to save some stuff for Olympic play, and the crafty coaches will do that.
And Coach K is a crafty coach. Dwight Howard, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Second quarter coming up. Welcome back to the Venetian in Macau, China. The United States leading 31-15 over Lithuania. Rick Hamlin, Fran Fraschilla on the call for ESPN2. Lithuania shooting 5 of 16. The United States 13 of 21. And a look at Carmelo Anthony, a man you think is the best international player in the world.
Well, because of the versatility of his ability to play inside and out, I do feel that way. He can shoot the 3. He's strong enough to go inside. Puts it on the floor well. This is important. First 2 games versus Canada and Turkey, defensive effort was there, maybe not the focus, but early on in this game, the ball pressure has been outstanding. You see Lithuania now staying in that 2-3 zone.
Definite improvement for the United States defensively in the first quarter. They gave up 24 points to a Canadian team that, well, let's just say it was less than spectacular. 30 to Turkey, as you said, 15 to Lithuania. That's a very impressive defensive first quarter, and scoring right there. Petrovicius once again.
Now, Petrovicius has gone inside. Clays has gone inside. And what you want to do if you're Team USA right now is pass the ball. There you go.
Ball from the corner over the backboard to Lithuania. So, and they're creeping back into this game a little bit. They've, you know, I wouldn't say it's manageable, but they're within 14.
No, what they've done now, Rick, is they've gone zone and they forced Team USA to shoot the ball quickly. And when I say pass the ball, move it side to side. See if you can get it inside first. Don't rely just on jump shots, even though we know this team is a better shooting team than Team USA has had in the last couple of international events.
Petrovicius fighting well for that rebound. A reload here for Siskauskas. Nice strip by Darren Williams. Wade gets it up ahead to him, and don't sleep on Darren Williams. He can turn it over on you. He draws the foul right here, but we've seen several statement dunks from Darren Williams in his NBA career.
Yeah, we have, but there's an example right now. There is, instead of going up one-handed, take a look. Go up 2 hands, draw the contact, finish the play. Don't necessarily need the highlight play right there. You need the 2 definite and maybe the potential for 3. Now, that's a coach talking.
And he's been coached well because Siskauskas, who was a boxer in his childhood and one of the toughest players in the EuroLeague, he'll knock you on your butt. So Darren Williams goes up there with 2 hands strong. If he would have gone up there with 1, Siskauskas might have blocked that thing.
Well, what he did do is he did go up with 1. He took that second hand off the ball and did not have a chance now at the three-point play.
Sharpshooter Michael Redd ready to check in for the United States, and that was the all-time lane violation by Howard and Yavtikis, and not called.
FIBA basketball. They let that. If both players go in at the same time, referees just ignore it.
Fishy officiating in play.
You see what they're doing now? They're taking Jasikevičius and they're making him use his left hand.
And Jasikevičius hates that call. Chris Paul says, "Give me that ball." Red from the corner.
Now, how about that? They go to the zone. Lithuania. Mike Krzyzewski brings in the zone buster. Good ball movement. Red gets the open look. How about coming right off the bench 12 minutes into the game and knocking down your first shot?
Michael Redd was 6 of 8 from three-point range in the first game. 0 of 2 yesterday against Turkey. Off to a good start here. Jasikevičius. And I have a feeling he hit that not only because he was due, but because he's ticked off about that play with Chris Paul.
Well, he is, and what happened right there is Team USA really jammed in on the post player, and that left Saris open.
Red again. Oh, he almost got that one to go. Dwight Howard says, just couldn't corral that rebound. And Siskauskas back for Lithuania. They trail by 16. Siskauskas from NBA range. And he hits it. So, after the slow start by Euromagic and Siskauskas, they hit back-to-back threes.
You mentioned in the open, remember we talked about the keys to the game. Find Lithuania's shooters because they put some deadly weapons on the floor.
Wade a little bit short with that lefty scoop. Rebound to Yazidis.
See, the zone now has really started to pay dividends for Lithuania. They're forcing Team USA to shoot it quickly.
Yazidis with the miss. Yeah, I don't think Lithuania got the correct start time for this game. We're seeing the real Lithuania right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, they are proficient at playing this defense, by the way. Very effective zone defensive team.
Red on the move to Wade for the lay-in.
What you want to do is not rely on jump shots versus the zone, but attack the paint.
And Jasikevičius saying to himself, what did I get myself into? With Kobe Bryant and Chris Paul all over me. And log on to NBAstore.com now for the best selection of USA basketball gear. If you want your favorite players in a funky number like number 24, Kobe Bryant, wearing the number 10 in the red, white, and blue, go to NBAstore.com. Simas Yazidis had it knocked away by LeBron, and it's taken by Michael Redd. Numbers for the United States. Kobe to Darren. Out to Redd for 3.
Well, this is a good tempo right now for Lithuania because they're forcing Team USA to shoot the ball quickly in the half court.
Look at that ball movement. Beautiful, and it's paid off by Yavtikis.
Well, after the slow start, they're starting to get their rhythm. But you gotta love the fact that USA will push the ball on both misses and makes. And a great example right there. The stoic one.
And Coach K had a great line. Speaking of stoic, he actually mixed in a joke yesterday at the post-game press conference. When asked about LeBron James, who obviously missed the first game with the ankle injury and played very well yesterday, got the player of the game, Coach K said, obviously he's healthy. He got the player of the game. I voted for him twice. You see, Coach K only gets 1 vote.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, I got it.
No, I knew you got it. I'm just for everybody still asleep on the East Coast.
Now watch how they handle pick and roll here. Very good. They don't let him use it.
Jasikevičius and Yavtikis, a little pick and roll. United States not having it at all. Red, another steal. Darren Williams. Nice feed to LeBron James. How did he find him?
Terrific. Terrific look by Darren Williams. good point guards are able to look up the floor and count defenders, but also know who on their team is running with them.
Look at this. Another steal. Darren Williams fouled in the open court by Jasikevičius. And a good foul from the Lithuania side of things. You see the look on the face right there of Siskauskis. We don't know what's hitting us right now.
Now, Lithuania has struggled in friendly play. By friendly games, we talk about exhibition games. They have struggled because of the ball handling. When they handle the ball, we've seen them shoot the ball well and get it inside. But the ability to handle this pressure is certainly going to be a factor for them to medal. But you know what, Rick? The interesting thing is not many teams in Olympic play are going to pressure like Team USA is able to do.
Javtikis, another nasty slam.
Good example right there. When you handle the ball well, you can get the ball inside against Team USA.
Dwight doesn't throw it down, but he answers promptly, and the United States back by 18. Javtikis once won a slam dunk contest on a 12-foot hoop. And Dwight Howard wanted to go 12 in the dunk contest just to prove how cool he is. Didn't need it, though. Just pulled out the Superman dunk. And, Gerald Green was phenomenal in that dunk contest last year. But Dwight Howard, that much better. And Dwight Howard is the player of the game so far here in Macau. 13 points on 5 of 8 from the floor. We're at the halfway point of the pre-Olympic tour, just about. The United States nearing halftime here in Game 3 of 5, up 45-27 over Lithuania. And you take a look at the men in green. They're trying to figure out this United States defense. And Robertas Javtikis played his high school basketball in Akron, Ohio at St. Vincent, St. Mary's. And I can think of another guy. I think he plays for the United States. Didn't he play for that same high school?
A guy named LeBron James. And actually, they missed each other by 1 year. He's 4 years older than LeBron. LeBron was a freshman the next year. But he actually didn't play because of his international transfer status. He went to school there, only spent a brief time at Arizona, and then returned home to Lithuania.
Javtikis was drafted by the San Antonio Spurs, 56th overall back in 2001, and what a move.
How about Siskauskis? Now, they call him the Baltic Scottie Pippen because he's one of the more versatile players in Europe, and you saw an example right there.
He won the EuroLeague MVP for 2007-2008, and you want to talk about a prestigious award. And he had 13 points in the championship game for CSKA Moscow as they beat Maccabi Tel Aviv. So another championship for Siskauskis, won the previous year with Panathinaikos.
One of the few players in EuroLeague history who's won back-to-back EuroLeague titles with 2 different teams. And Siskauskis, one of the other 2 gentlemen, a guy named Bodaroga, one of the all-time great players in Europe.
Javtikis with the Mikan-esque hook.
Javtikis, the property, as you mentioned, drafted by San Antonio back in 2002. But he's carved out a nice living for himself in Europe, playing for Dynamo Moscow.
Carmelo Anthony, he didn't hesitate on that one.
Carmelo's so fundamentally sound. His jump shot is so compact. With the lack of movement in that shot, it allows him to get it off very quickly.
Carmelo missed his first 3, his first make. Gives the United States a 17-point lead. Feeding Javtikis, he hooks it over Howard again, and they got a foul on Big Dwight. So Javtikis says, they're talking about me. Well, go ahead and keep talking about me. 40-inch vertical leap back in his heyday. And at 6'11", combined with a 40-inch vertical, I'm not good with math, but that's good enough to dunk on a 12-foot rim.
Oh, that's pretty good. And we mentioned earlier, back in 2000, actually May 2001, he was involved in a very serious, 2002, excuse me, very serious motorcycle accident. And many people feared that he would never be able to walk again. He's obviously gotten healthy, bounced back, and we've seen some of that terrific athleticism today.
He won a EuroLeague championship in 2007 with Siskauskis with Panathinaikos. He was the MVP of the ULIB Cup back in 2005. And as you mentioned, currently playing for Dynamo Moscow, and he's just a fantastic EuroLeague player, consistently one of the league leaders in blocks and rebounding.
Well, what you love about these guys is even though they trail by 16, there's no fear factor. Look at that.
a one-and-done slam by Kobe Bryant off the sweet feet from Dwyane Wade.
The unselfishness of this team, Mike Krzyzewski called it selfless service. Playing together.
And Kobe Bryant, overzealous on his defense on Kalkanis. Kobe now with 11. What a jam this was. And we saw LeBron with a one-and-done, triggered by Kobe in yesterday's game.
Well, you can really tell, they embrace playing together. In fact, last week, I think, LeBron said at the practices in Vegas, we all dream, during the season, we all complain about, man, I wish we had a point guard, or I wish we had this guy. I wish I could play with this guy. They're embracing the fact that they're getting a chance to play with each other. Now, this is obviously some of the best. You talk about those 5 guys we mentioned, Carmelo and LeBron, Chris Paul, Dwyane Wade, Kobe, Dwight Howard. These are some of the best players in the world. They're embracing that fact that they get a chance to play for a short period of time with each other.
And nobody's embraced him more than Dwyane Wade, one of the... he's probably going to go down to what is the all-time greats, and he's the 6th man on this basketball team. Here is Chris Paul. That's right in his zone, but he missed. And what a rebound and tap out by Chris Bosh. LeBron lost the handle amazingly. Got it back. CP3 for 3. And it's rebounded by Yaptikis. He's been by far the best Lithuanian out here.
He's done a really good job. And you talked about his size. And these guys from Lithuania, they embrace playing against the best in the world. He had a big smile on his face earlier. And they don't want to be down 16 right now. But you're seeing a very game-competitive group of guys. Siskauskas, Jasikevičius, very experienced players.
Yaptikis. Oh, he lost the handle. It just slipped out like a bar of soap. Wade back for the U.S. Nice little crossover fake. Bounds into his man. No basket. That is an offensive foul.
Now, that's the 3rd time in the 3 exhibition games that Dwyane Wade has come down the lane like a freight train. And here he runs over Kalkanis. Maybe a little acting job, but the experience of Kalkanis.
Oh, and the glare from Dwyane.
You can't do that.
He didn't like that call at all.
You know what? He's not a superstar over here like he is in the NBA. In FIBA play, you'll see 3 or 4 things from referees every game that will make you scratch your head. And Mike Krzyzewski's talked to his team about playing through it. You cannot get frustrated. You don't get the superstar call over here.
Good defense right there by Dwyane Wade to disrupt the drive by Kalkanis. LeBron spinning. Oh, and he can't score. Dwyane Wade fighting down there for the rebound against 3 Lithuanians. And we have a jump ball. Mike Krzyzewski liking what he is seeing. What does he have to talk about at halftime? We're going to come back and talk to Fran about that. Just under a minute to go in the first half. The United States by 16. And did you catch the X Games last night? Well, it's rolling on. X Games 14 continues Friday night on ESPN. Coverage kicks off with X Center at 8 Eastern. Then at 9 Eastern, watch Kevin Robinson attempt to three-peat as he defies gravity on the mega ramp during BMX Big Air. Then, during Moto X Step Up, will Bryant Deegan step up to the podium? Or will Randy Carmichael live up to his nickname, the greatest of all time? X Games 14 on ESPN Friday night. For more information, log on to EXPN.com.
How about my man Danny Way? He took a spill last night. Hopefully he's okay. Probably got a few ice packs on that back of his.
Well, he's lucky he's not in the hospital. That looked very violent.
Yes, it did. See, zone defense by Lithuania has done a nice job of keeping Team USA on the perimeter.
Fran, before the end of the half here, tell me, what Coach K may be talking about in that locker room. Give me one like and one dislike from what you've seen in this first half.
I think the one thing they've done is they've pressured the ball very well, but the dislike just shows up right there. A few too many open looks, and you have to guard those guys out beyond the international line.
And coming up on the halftime report, an ESPN News update, what's going on around the world of sports, a look ahead to the United States against Russia in a couple of days, and highlights and analysis. It's all coming up on the halftime report.
Russia will be the next opponent, and they're led by Andrei Kirilenko of the Utah Jazz. Also have a point guard, J.R. Holden, who's a Bucknell graduate.
And Lithuania draws within 13, feeling okay about themselves. And Michael Red says, you let me open for a three. Can't get away with that.
That's where you got to have that versatility in your zone offense, be able to play both inside and out, and make sure you get your best shooters looks. Good example right there.
Yazidis looking for his shot. Just hit a three a moment ago. LeBron lost it. Comes to Yavdikis. Gets it to Yazidis. And Lithuania will set up. Go 2 for 1 here, Coach?
You want to do it smartly. When you go 2 for 1, you want to make sure you get a good look, but that point's moot right now.
Yes, it is.
The offensive foul. Sometimes when you go 2 for 1, I never liked it as a coach when the first shot is a bad shot. You know, I'd rather get the first good look, but 2 for 1, a big part of NBA play. You see it in every quarter.
Is it as simple as being open in terms of that good shot?
Not necessarily. If you get the right guy a shot who's taking a semi-contested shot, you'll take a chance on that possession knowing you're going to get one more at the end of the quarter. But the zone, you see the 2-3 zone, and we mentioned this right from the first exhibition game. They are going to see a variety of looks in Olympic play.
Chris Paul did get it through to Bosch. Oh, and Bosch miraculously throws it in. And I heard a tweet, get Bosch to the line.
Well, you like that because Bosch makes a terrific play. You don't like the fact that Chris Paul feeds him in traffic with 4 guys. Bosch makes chicken soup out of this right here.
And that's a nice gather by Chris Bosch. And look at this. He is hammered, and he hits it anyway. Petrovicius with the foul. Did they give Chris Paul an assist on this?
Oh, yeah.
Why not? It's new rules. Oscar Robertson somewhere saying, hey, they didn't give me the assist on that way back in my day.
He's in Russia, and he has a Russian passport, even though he's still an American citizen. He leads Russia from the point.
And are the Americans into it or what? They're up by 19, closing seconds of the first half. They hear a tweet against them, and they erupt on the bench. And Chris Paul did get him.
Well, and they tried to pressure Kaukanis and Jasikevičius this whole first half and have been pretty successful at doing so. But right there, Chris Paul with the bailout foul.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kaukanis hits the first.
Little controversy on the women's side because Becky Hammond, who's one of WNBA's great point guards, is also going to play for Russia and run their points. So she did not get invited to the U.S. Olympic trials, and she decided to go play where she plays during the winter with the Russians.
LeBron James into Chris Paul. 2 seconds left. Now 1 second left, and LeBron James traveled with the basketball. A turnover to end the first half, and good news for Lithuania that he did take steps because that ball went in. The United States, a strong start defensively, and they lead at the half 56-39. When we come back, it's the halftime report here on ESPN2. Please stick around. We're here in China, and obviously Yao Ming is the face of China in a variety of ways, and also the face of the Houston Rockets. Who's the better center right now, Dwight Howard or Yao Ming?
Boy, that's a great question. Obviously, long term, I'm going to take Dwight Howard. Yao Ming, the big factor with Yao is, can he play 82 games? Can he stay healthy? I would take Dwight Howard simply because right now, you know, you can count on him to play night in, night out.
Great point. He has never missed a game in his NBA career. Lithuania with the first shot, and it's missed by Jasikevičius. And he picks up where he left off in the first half. Good hustle right there by Petrovicius.
Now, we've seen this now. Sometimes there's been a letdown in terms of rebounding.
And we have not seen enough of him. Shistov Lavrinovicius.
Well, this is a guy that had some legal issues earlier in his career. Otherwise, he'd likely be playing in the NBA right now.
They say he would have been drafted had he not fallen into trouble. And as it is, he is a fantastic player. Second team All-EuroLeague this past season, 13 points per game, and helped Montepaschi Siena make it all the way to the EuroLeague Final Four.
Absolutely. A team that had Terrell McIntyre, who played for Clemson, Bootsy Thornton, who I coached at St. John's, who turned out to be a terrific European player.
Your boy Bucci was second team all EuroLeague. He had a great year.
A perfect example of a guy that rather than be the 11th or 12th man on an NBA roster, he makes about $1 million a year in Europe.
Not bad.
Now, this is a concern. We talked about how good a shooting team this is, and you don't want to lose your focus. And Coach Boutatis has stayed in the 2-3 zone since halfway through the first half, and they've creeped back into this game.
Under 10 on the shot clock. LeBron James for 3, and you can't leave him wide open.
Now, that's not a normal NBA 3. That's what you'd call a mid-range jump shot for LeBron James, something he's reasonably proficient at.
United States by 14, make it 11. That is Kalkanis from deep.
They switched out. Howard had Kalkanis, and Howard just didn't give him enough respect on the jump shot. You got to crowd him, make him a driver.
Kobe stepping through. Nice find to Carmelo Anthony, and in traffic he scores.
As good a pass as that was, how about how Carmelo always finds the opening in the defense? See Kobe, the defensive stopper now.
He went under the screen, though. Jasikevičius could not hit that 3. He wanted a foul call.
That's a good point. Kobe did a really good job in the first half of not allowing Saris to use the screen. That time he got the look because Kobe needed to fight through it.
Out of bounds off of the U.S., and the referee's like, yo, one of you Lithuanian guys needs to come take the ball out of bounds. Here's Kalkanis.
Oh, yeah.
Nice feed underneath, and that is Petrovicius being fouled from behind. How did he slither that one through?
Well, simply put, if you're going to let them run pick and roll at the high post, you're going to create some indecision on the part of the defense. Take a look right here. You see Howard stays. Kid doesn't get back quickly, and then no rotation from the backside. Kobe Bryant needs to be in the paint.
Marijonas Petrovicius hits the first free throw. Lithuania within 12.
This is a guy that really didn't have a huge impact at South Carolina, where he played for Dave Odom. A good player, but has really, really improved as he's come back to Europe and played in the EuroLeague. This is good for Team USA. Get a chance to play a lot against the 2-3 zone.
Kobe to Kidd to Carmelo. Good hustle right there by Kobe Bryant. Threw it in off the back of the backboard, so it'll go to Lithuania. They trail by 12. They're hanging around, Fran.
But you know, Rick, it's about law of averages right now because the zone is going to force Team USA to make some shots.
Jasikevičius makes a shot, and Lithuania now into single digits. They trail only by 9, and they're quicker to loose balls right now than the United States.
Well, they really are. You're talking about a very, very experienced, competitive group. And when you don't turn them over in terms of the ball pressure and allow them to get open looks, they make these shots like it's a drink of water.
I want to talk about some of the Lithuanians not here. Macijauskas, one of the best shooters in Europe, spent a year with the Hornets. You have Darius Singaila. He's got a back injury. He may or may not be added to the Olympic roster. And then you have Zydrunas Ilgauskas as Carmelo Anthony gets an and one. Big Z was not allowed to play here by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's on the wrong side of 30. He's had health issues in the past. What is your thought about the Cavs and their decision to disallow Big Z playing here?
Well, keep in mind, it goes beyond that because Big Z has never really been a part of the national team. The last time he played for Lithuania was back in 1995. Injuries are a big factor, and now the fact that you get injured early in your career, and if you're the Cavs, you want him to stay healthy because for them, it's about an investment. They pay him a lot of money. They want to see him healthy. A guy like Nowitzki, Mark Cuban, constantly complaining about Dirk playing for Germany. And oftentimes, the insurance policy is such that a player like Big Z can't afford, really, to take a chance.
And an and one for Lithuania. And again, it's Petrovicius.
And again, it's pick and roll defense at the high post. And this is the same type of, I hate to remind you, same type of confusion we saw back in 2006. This normally hasn't been a problem through 3 exhibition games, but you can see there's heavy-duty discussion going on right now. Because as I've mentioned a couple times, Rick, pick-and-roll offense is about creating indecision on the part of the man guarding the ball and the man guarding the screener. And that's what we have right now.
And what we have is a ball game.
Absolutely.
This looked like a runaway. in the first half, and Petrovicius misses the free throw, so Lithuania within 10.
It's a very good test for Team USA because now you're also having to see them attack a 2-3 zone in a real serious defense.
Nice look away. LeBron to Melo and the mash from Dwight Howard.
Anytime you get the ball in the middle of the paint versus a zone, you're going to create something good for your team.
Turnover. Kobe Bryant up with it. Kidd to Carmelo Anthony. He collects himself. The extra pass to LeBron James, and he hangs around for a while.
We mentioned if you get the steal and you get the pressure and you don't allow Lithuania to run their offense, you're going to get an opportunity to get the turnover and the run out.
Lithuania wants time. 6:03 to go in the third. The United States by 14. The United States has lost 5 games in the history of their Olympic basketball play, one of them in 2004 to Lithuania.
Well, and this man, Sauras Jasikevičius, 28 points. He knocked down 7 threes en route to what was a huge upset.
And in the bronze medal game, the United States exacted their revenge, but this was an Olympics to forget for the United States. We mentioned 5 losses all time. 3 of them came in this Olympics.
Oh, absolutely. That was a team that really was, while even Dwyane Wade said very talented, probably not constructed for team basketball. There's the pressure again. You see Kobe gets it started.
And it's Kobe to LeBron for another mega blast.
This is what I talk about, feast or famine. When Lithuania can handle the ball and run their offense, they're fine. Kobe says, no, you know what? We're going to have none of this now.
And for Lithuania, 12 of their 15 points in the third have come on 4 3-pointers. And you're right, when they don't turn it over, when they get into their set and move it around a little bit, they're a very efficient offensive team. And look at the 3-point shooting in the third quarter.
See, there was very heavy discussion in that last timeout about the pick-and-roll defense and the fact that it's causing some breakdowns in coverage. Because if you worry about the guy rolling to the basket and someone helps from the weak side, guess what? There's a shooter over there that, by the way, can knock down the 3.
United States by 16. And a conference at the scorers table.
Oh, yeah, this is FIBA play here. There's always going to be a few calls that you're going to scratch your head about. Something will happen at the scorers table as well, or the timer.
X Games 14 continues Friday night on ESPN. Coverage kicks off with X Center at 8 Eastern. Then at 9 Eastern, watch Kevin Robinson attempt a three-peat as he defies gravity on the mega ramp during BMX Big Air. Then during Moto X Step Up, will Brian Deegan step up to the podium, or will Ricky Carmichael live up to his nickname, the greatest of all time? X Games 14 on ESPN Friday night. For more information, all you have to do is log on to EXPN.com.
I want to send our best to Danny Way, who took a hard spill last night. Hopefully he's going to bounce back, so to speak.
Those dudes are tough and fearless, and you know he'll be back. Well, you don't know he'll be back, but you know, these guys play with pain all the time. So do these players. There are warriors in more sports than just basketball and football.
There's no question about it. They take a look at this ball movement now versus the zone.
Oh, Carmelo Anthony just found it. It's like a quarter on the sidewalk, picked it up and put it in.
We mentioned he's always in the right spot at the right time. Look at this now. Now, Jason Kidd is going to get a piece of Kalkanis, and Kalkanis brought the ball up that time.
Kidd to Kobe Bryant. No look to Carmelo. Tried to finger roll it home, but he is called, rather, Lithuania is called for a foul on Carmelo, and Sarah says, you got to be kidding me.
You're talking about one of the more emotional guys. Take a look. A good dime dropped here by Kobe. And Jasikevičius, one of the more competitive guys you'll find. In fact, he plays, you know, if you know about the Euro League, the thing about Jasikevičius is he plays off his own emotion, both at home and on the road. He's one of those guys, if he's not on your team, you hate him.
Like Lenny Dykstra? I mean,
it's a good example.
Because I loved him as a Met. I was a Met fan growing up, and I hated him when he went to the Phillies.
Yeah, you're dropping the Lenny Dykstra on me here.
He's one of my favorite players growing up. Nails Dykstra. John Barry was one of those players.
Absolutely. A guy that gets under your skin. You don't like him. You don't like him as a fan if he's on the opposition's team. But when he gets traded to your team, you love the energy and the competitiveness. You see what they're doing now. They're forcing other people to bring the ball up. There's a double team.
Kidd, one of the all-time leaders in steals, gets it up ahead to Carmelo. Oh, and it's out of bounds off of Kobe Bryant. Now, was he thinking before he got the ball?
This is the one issue you have sometimes when you have so many scorers that want to play together, is you pass up your own scoring opportunities. If Carmelo were playing in an NBA game right now, he's going to the rim for the N1. And because they do play so selfishly, you're going to have some spotty play because people are going to overpass.
LeBron fouls Jasikevičius from behind. And this reminder to log on to NBAstore.com right now for the best selection of USA basketball gear. It's NBAstore.com. You want one of those fancy red USA basketball shirts? NBAstore.com will hook you up.
Yeah, my son in Las Vegas last week did pretty well with the USA gear, I might add. Much to the chagrin of my wife and I.
So it wasn't swag?
No, it was not. No, it was retail, my friend.
So France's bank account dwindling as we speak. Hey, since Lithuania cut the lead to 10, the United States has gone on a 9-1 run, keyed, of course, by their defense.
But see, you need to be solid right here. No, don't take many gambles. There you go. Just be solid.
What's Kobe got for us? Oh, he's a former slam dunk champ, and he broke us off something.
See, if I'm the Team USA right now, the next 4 minutes, I don't try to gamble. I stay in front of my man. I contest three-point shots, and we just play smart ball.
They have a foul? That looked like an errant pass. They're staying at this end of the floor.
Well, this is where you got to keep your composure because it does not matter in a 20-point game. But when you get to the semifinals against somebody like Spain, and there's a call that you don't like, you cannot show emotion. You cannot let it affect your game. We've seen that happen so many times for Team USA in international play.
Even if it's the worst call of all time, just going to put your head down and keep playing.
Got to keep playing through it. You got to deal with adversity.
Deron Williams in for the U.S. and Lithuania. We talked, yesterday in the game against Turkey that Turkey is the host country for the 2010 World Championship. Lithuania, coincidentally enough, is the host country for the 2011 Eurobasket tournament. And that will be a grand scene in Lithuania, one of the countries in Europe that loves basketball more than any other.
Well, you're so right, Rick. I compare Lithuania to like Indiana. There's only 3.4 million people in the country, and they play per capita maybe as good a basketball as there is maybe outside of a team like Team USA. 3.4 million people, and you have the level of play they've had through the years is remarkable.
And 3.2 million of them love basketball, right?
No question about it.
Jasikevičius just fumbled that one out of bounds, Ernest Biner style. You like that old school reference?
Cleveland Browns. I want to drop a name on you here. Donatas Monteunas, who's an 18-year-old, 7-foot Lithuanian player, is going to be an NBA player someday.
LeBron James is an NBA player today, and he just took a great pass from Deron Williams, deposited it in, +1.
Well, what you like about that is they're in the zone, right? And now when you get the ball to the paint against the zone, you're going to get shots like this. You get the ball to the high paint, it forces the defense to collapse on you, and you can sneak a guy. Hard to think you can sneak a guy like LeBron, as big as he is, behind the defense, but that's exactly what they did right there.
LeBron can't complete the three-point play, but it's not like with this U.S. team you can focus on one guy. Like when you're playing the Cavs, you put 3 dudes on LeBron James. Here, all 5 guys can murder you.
No, that's exactly right, and that's why these guys embrace the fact that they're playing with such guys that are as talented as they are.
Lithuania's gone ice cold. Chris Paul to Deron Williams, and he lost it. And now Lithuania has a 3-on-1. Pretty ball fake right there, but he missed the layup, and Jasikevičius missed it. And they want a goaltend. I don't know if they're going to get it. That was Mashulis right there, begging for the call.
Well, Chris Paul broke up a 3-on-1 break. You love that. Take a look now. He fakes, And he throws Lukaskis off. And right now you're seeing some of Lithuania's younger players. Mačiulis, one of the top young guys they have.
So is that man, Yazaitis.
Yep, Yazaitis, only 25 years old. You know, you talk about 2011 in Lithuania, and the likelihood is some of these guys who've represented Lithuania so well, Jasikevičius, Sangala, obviously Ilgauskas, will not likely be a part of that run. But there you see a great look at that 2-3 zone, which Coach Boutatis has stayed in for much of this game.
Wade left alone, and he puts it in.
Well, this is a team that's much more constructed for zone defense than the teams we've seen in 04 and 02.
Wade says hello to those lucky souls sitting at the scorer's table. Soars over them.
How about the Cotai Arena? That's actually in the Venetian Hotel.
How about that?
This is a 15,000-seat arena inside an incredible hotel complex.
And for those who don't understand, and we really don't either, Fran, calling this game from the U.S., but the strip in Macau of hotels and casinos is modeled after Las Vegas, and it's in fact bigger than Las Vegas. And amongst, you know, the landscape or the horizon rather of all the casinos and hotels, you see cranes everywhere. The construction is going nuts over here in Macau.
Well, you're right. In fact, Chris Bosh talked about the fact that there's so much to do, but yet in their hotel they can't possibly see everything in their hotel. It's so large. So, but I think the focus obviously has been on basketball, and rightfully so. These guys will be together only, hopefully, about 24 more days.
August 24th. That is the day of the gold medal game. And the United States of America hopes to be in that game, and they hope to win that game. Here is Darren Williams, and one.
Wow. Terrific play. And what's important about that, Rick, is attacking the zone with the drive. And that's the second play. That watch how good a job he goes, not only getting into the zone, but we talked about his size and strength in the past. International play, more physical than NBA play because they allow a little more bumping and grinding on the perimeter, and Williams has the strength to be able to handle that.
It's almost impossible to believe that Darren Williams has not been an All-Star yet. Obviously, that will come to an end very, very soon, probably as early as the 2009 All-Star game in Phoenix. And Lithuania just can't buy a bucket. They trail by 22. Dwyane Wade with a full head of steam. And you better stop ball because Dwyane Wade's going to pack it on your skull. They knock it out of bounds. 19 on the shot clock for the United States. And as we watch Lithuania here, you can't help but think back to those great teams of the 90s as Dwyane Wade missed the reverse layup of Arvydas Sabonis, Sarunas Marciulionis, and those were fantastic teams and a couple of very good NBA players.
Well, and they were really part of, you remember, we mentioned earlier, Sabonis, part of the Soviet Union, the great team, you know, obviously Saras, Marciulionis as well. And we talked about this off air. Arvydas Sabonis, who played later in his career for the Portland Trail Blazers, one of the great centers of all time in the history of basketball. In fact, Bill Walton, among the top 5 or 6, called Sabonis the greatest passing center of all time. And that's high praise coming from a guy like Bill Walton. We never saw him in his prime. That's the great thing about YouTube. Go on and get some of those highlights of Arvydas Sabonis. And really a magnificent player, as was Marciulionis. And Kurtinaitis, the assistant coach of this Lithuanian team, one of the great shooters in Olympic history.
What I remember of Sabonis was, you know, playing that high post offense, and he would hold the ball with one hand and wait, and shovel it underhanded right on the money. He would hit it to a spot. The player would be there for the layup. I mean, what an amazing passer he was.
Well, hold the ball like a grapefruit, you mean.
Dwyane Wade, he hangs around for a little while, and the United States put on a highlight show here in the third.
Well, there should be more showtime because Lithuania has gone to the younger group. But what you want from your team right now, if you're Mike Krzyzewski, is 11 more minutes of focus. Don't give up any open looks. Pressure the ball. Make sure you rebound. And just play smart on the offensive end.
Dwyane Wade triggers. In and out and back in. And Dwyane Wade, 5 quick points.
Excellent. Good ball movement. Get the open man. And just be solid right now.
Wade has 12, the lead 26. We're under a minute to go in the third quarter.
I always talked about as a coach, you don't need to hit home runs now. Just hit singles. Be solid, be fundamental.
Yaptakis into the corner, and that ball knocked down by Mindaugas Luskauskis.
He's one of the veterans. He's played well of recent past. 29 years old.
About a second and a half different between the shot clock and the game clock. So the United States will wind it down. Under 10 on the shot clock for them. Darren Williams kicks to Tayshaun Prince. 4 on the shot clock. Dwyane Wade recognizes, goes glass and hits again. He has 14, 7 quick points for him, and an injury for Lithuania.
I think he got his feeling. I think Machulis got his feelings hurt more than anything right there.
5/10 of a second remaining. Not enough time to heave from that far away. Dwyane Wade, it is good to have you back and healthy. He has been awesome in these pre-Olympic games for USA Basketball. Welcome back to Macau, China, the last quarter here in Macau. This is XC3 for the United States Olympic team. Games 4 and 5 will come up in Shanghai in a couple of days. And a look at the groupings for the Olympic Games coming up in a week or so. Group A looks like that. Group B finds the United States with China, Germany, Greece, and Spain. That is a heavyweight division.
It really is. You've got Yao Ming and China, although they are depleted right now, some injuries. Germany with Nowitzki and Chris Kaman. And then, to me, the 3 best teams in the world at the moment, Greece, Spain, and the United States. So Team USA will get tested in Group B, obviously. And we talked about that should help them prepare for the medal round.
And no offense to those in Group A, but Lithuania looks like they will be moving on to the medal round. This is a very strong team. I know they're getting walloped here by 25, but these are the Americans, and they are playing very good basketball. This has been their most complete game in these exhibitions so far. Darren Williams takes it strong right at Petrovicius, draws the foul.
Well, when you think about it, really, there's nobody in this field that can pressure the ball defensively and cause havoc to Lithuania like Team USA can. So do not be surprised that this team goes very, very far, actually, because their one Achilles heel is handling the basketball.
Dwyane Wade is absolutely ablaze right now. You don't even want to touch him. You'll get singed.
Well, these are all mid-range jumpers for Team USA. And you have to really admire what Jerry Colangelo has done, because not only is the chemistry good, and not only have they taken a little heat for not having enough big guys, but they have guys on the perimeter that can score inside and out.
Williams was looking for Wade, takes it himself, and one. So another and one for Darren Williams, and that ends a streak of 9 straight points for Dwyane Wade.
And you think about Darren Williams, and we talked about this. Jason Kidd at 35, the oldest member of the team. Yes, he's 38-0 in international play, but Darren Williams has that prototype game for an international player because he is physical enough to be able to get anywhere he wants on the basketball court. And obviously, he's a great decision maker as well.
Tayshaun Prince said, why not? And he missed it. The United States 4 points away from 100 here early in the fourth quarter. This is Kauskis. Nice feed down low, but Petrovicius wasn't looking. Knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay right here. 12 on the shot clock for Lithuania.
One of the things that's helped Mike Krzyzewski and his staff is that they'll get a chance to look at the video and see a lot of zone defense and they've done a good job, obviously, of moving the ball, but where their weaknesses are, what they have to improve on, because as he has mentioned many times, this is just training camp right now.
That was a brilliant dime by Jasikevicius. It hit the rim, so a new shot clock, and is put in by Linas Kleza, and then a backcourt steal by Lithuania. That was Lukauskas. Lithuania trails by 25. Lukauskas back with it on the other side. Kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with Lithuania. 12 on the shot clock.
If you know anything about coaches, you know you really don't want to think about the score right now if you're Mike Krzyzewski and Coach Butantis as well. You just want execution and you want to improve.
The Denver Nugget update. Carmelo has 11. Kleza has 4. Neither has played that great here today. Dwyane Wade, Chris Paul on a 2-on-1. Wade gave it to Paul so he could do that. Another windmill from Dwyane Wade, and the pass from Paul was awesome.
Well, the highlights are phenomenal, and you just have to love it. All is keyed by just unbelievable unselfishness on the part of this group.
That was a windmill on an alley-oop. I don't even know if I've seen that.
That was a double windmill.
It's incredible, I'll tell you that. Dwyane Wade in full effect in Vegas, here in Macau, and I suspect he'll keep it rolling in Shanghai. And Linus Kleza has earned himself a couple of free throws.
One of the things you see professional players do so well at the FIBA level and the NBA level is they recognize mismatches. That time Kleza had Chris Paul buried in the lane and made Chris Paul disappear. Good recognition as he got the ball inside, went to work.
Fran, off the air, you told me that Lithuania is the reason that the United States went to NBA players. Would you care to explain that?
Well, in 1988, the Soviet Union team that beat Team USA, John Thompson's club, there was a sense after that it was time to have professional players play because the rest of the world was basically using professional players. And the large part of that Soviet Union team we've already mentioned, you know, the guys like Sabonis and Marshallonis, Kurtinitis. When that happened, FIBA decided in 1989 to make everybody available to play in the Olympics, including the NBA players. And that really was the germination, if you will, of the Dream Team in 1992. And because of the Dream Team and the impression they made on the rest of the world basketball-wise, we have seen an explosion of basketball and improvement among international players, and that's been evident the last 10 years or so.
Chris Paul with a dazzling move, feeds Prince. And Boozer, the only guy yet to touch it on this offensive possession. He sets a screen, Red free. Red hits.
See, when you're Michael Red right now, you don't really even have to bend your knees. That becomes a wrist shot. That is a classic mid-range jumper for a guy who has obviously deep NBA range.
Red has 3 threes, 9 points. Yaptakis puts it in. He has been ultra quiet since a noisy first quarter.
Now that's pick and roll defense again, so there are some things that you'll be able to go in the film room on and go to school on. But this guy, how about the strength and the ability to get into the heart of the zone defense, handle the contact. Look at that, he's just shooing guys off and then finishes at the rim.
They have not yet given him credit for the basket. I don't think they will, or I don't think they have. They have not, but in the NBA, that's an and one.
Yeah. And really, the rule is if you're in the act of shooting, and you don't have to have the ball over your head, you just have to be in the normal act of shooting. In my opinion right there, that basket should have counted. You can drop the ball to your ankles as long as you're in the act of shooting.
Red has 4 threes, and the United States has 104 points.
Now, he's always in the act of shooting.
He had 6 of 8 from 3 in the game in Vegas against Canada. Nice pass to the corner, Siskauskas.
Yeah, see, that's just great ball movement, and that's just poor transition defense right there.
Siskauskas with 13. Double point guard look for the U.S. with Chris Paul, and this man, Darren Williams, scooting to the hoop, and he scores. They didn't foul him that time.
Now, the one thing that you're finding out if you're the USA coaching staff, when we see zone in Beijing, we have a guy, not necessarily from the perimeter, but we have a guy that can attack this defense off the dribble.
I believe Yaptakis just tried a no-look pass, and probably not the best idea. Definitely not a good result for Lithuania. Just over 5 minutes to go. The United States right where they want to be, well in front, 106-78. Boozer, nice pass to Tayshaun Prince. He was rejected by Lavrinovic, and Lavrinovic gets the rebound. Jasikevicius misses with that shot. Played with Indiana and Golden State in the NBA.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that,
Michael Redd was going for number 5.
Yeah, the problem with Jasikevicius in the NBA is he's really not a 1. He's not quick enough to be a 1, and he's not big enough to be a 2, as evidenced by the contested shot right there.
And Michael Redd jamming the jam as...
That will not be a Sports Center highlight.
And you know these guys are going to give him a hard time. Did you just dunk the ball? I thought we got you to hit threes.
But he didn't jump over to Macau phone book.
Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and the rest of the squad representing the red, white, and blue. And you have 2 more pre-Olympic tune-up games coming up on ESPN2. Sunday morning at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, the United States takes on Russia. Then Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern, USA plays Australia. USA Basketball pre-Olympic games on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. So we're, entering games 4 and 5 of the exhibition schedule. Then, of course, the games in Beijing begin. And managing director Jerry Colangelo has said that this might be the defining moment of my career to win this gold medal. I know Coach K desperately wants to hang, a real meaningful gold medal around his neck. The Tournament of the Americas last year kind of counts, but I'm talking about World Championship and Olympic play. And Coach K does not have a gold in that regard. But Colangelo came in and really changed the culture of USA Basketball.
Well, he really did, and it needed to, quite honestly, because what he's done now is he not only has a great basketball team, and it's not going to be easy to win the gold, but this is a very classy group of guys, and the key has been to win with class. Not just win, but win with class. And the way this team has been constructed, both on and off the court, you have to credit Jerry Colangelo quite a bit.
And let's take a look at the schedule for the Olympics. And the first game for the United States will be August 10th against the host team, China and Yao Ming.
Well, you got China, the host team, as you mentioned. Guard play will be a factor. Angola, Charles Barkley had his way with them back in '92. They're improved. But then you got Greece and Spain, in my mind, 2 of the 3 best teams in the world right now. And then Germany with Dirk Nowitzki. So very interesting. But what you love about this Team USA is that Jerry Colangelo asked them for a 3-year commitment to really spill their guts and buy into the team concept. And they have. And even a guy like Tayshaun Prince, who's a great defender, has fit in. And so is this guy, too, Boozer.
Carlos Boozer, I'm feeling you. Late in the 4th quarter, that's when he's been getting his run. That's when Tayshaun Prince has been getting his run. They are the 11th and 12th men on this team. And Carlos Boozer puts the United States of America on top by 35 points. Late 4th quarter, late in the U.S.'s stay here in Macau, China. We're coming right back. We welcome you back to the beautiful Cotai Arena at the Venetian in Macau, China. The United States up 35 over Lithuania. Rick Kamla, Fran Fraschilla on the call for ESPN2. And off the bench, Dwyane Wade with 19, Michael Redd with 14. And the story of Michael Redd making this team is fabulous.
Well, Michael Redd had an interview set up with Jerry Colangelo in Chicago. He drove from Milwaukee after practice in a sweatsuit, asked to be excused when he got to Jerry's room, went into the bathroom, changed into a suit, and he said later, he goes, I was taught that when I go on an interview, I'm to dress up. And that really impressed Jerry Colangelo. And obviously his outside shooting has impressed him as well. But that's the makeup of this team. A guy like Michael Redd, who does one thing really well, and that's shoot the ball, which is going to come in handy in international play, and accepts his role. I mean, how about Kobe Bryant today, setting the tone defensively more so than offensively, and Dwyane Wade accepting the fact that he's coming off the bench, and Carmelo Anthony with only 9 shots today. Very selfless group. And they've been on fire offensively. The ball movement has just been sensational.
Kobe yesterday against Turkey had 5 steals and 7 assists. I mean, he had some fabulous dimes in that game. And today for Kobe Bryant, very good from the field for him. 6 of 9, 13 points, 3 assists. And as you said, set the tone defensively, taking Sarunas Jasikevičius and totally taking him out of the game.
Well, he did. And that's what he bought into. You know, he told Mike Krzyzewski last year at the Tournament of the Americas, that I want to guard the other team's best perimeter player. And he's showing you why he's a great all-around player.
I remember last year at the TOA, there was a player from Venezuela who actually plays in college. I can't remember his name right now.
Rivas Vasquez.
That's exactly who it was. Yep. And Kobe Bryant said that I want him. And Vasquez was like, you got to be kidding me. He's taking the challenge of guarding me, Kobe Bryant?
Well, you know how that started? Because it started because Mike Krzyzewski's Duke staff of Johnny Dawkins, now the coach at Stanford, Steve Wojciechowski, Chris Collins, all who are a part of Team USA right now, they kept talking up Rivas Vasquez and said, hey, he had a triple-double against us at Cameron Indoor Stadium. You got to shut this guy down. And Kobe said, look, you don't get a triple-double against me. So he really basically, and Grievous had a great laugh about it because he said, here I am 20 years old, and Kobe Bryant is making it a holy war, if you will, against me.
And needless to say, Vasquez did not do much in that basketball game. Kobe got the job done on both ends. 2:13 to go here from Macau. 116-80. The U.S. over Lithuania. Kobe and Melo. Are their bags packed, do you think? Or do you think they're going to go back to the hotel and pack for the trip to Shanghai?
Oh, I think they'll go back, and they don't have to go back to the hotel. The arena's in the hotel.
The arena's in the hotel.
No, but the next step now is to move on to China, go to Shanghai. Russia and Australia await. And the key is to keep your focus and not... You can't take too much away from this game because if you remember, Rick, early on, I mentioned that ball handling would be a problem for Lithuania, and it has been. Karkanis has had a terrific game, the young man who played at Seton Hall. But Lithuania, while they have the great tradition, this is not a vintage club because of the injuries and the lack of ball handling.
Ball looked to be off the foot of a Lithuanian player, and they're keeping it with Green. And time for the sprite play of the game. Wade.
Oh! I think Don Quixote would love that windmill. Take a look at this. He windmilled it twice.
Oh, man. A windmill on an alley-oop? That's just stupid. Yeah, you see Dwyane Wade right there saying to Jason Kidd, yeah, you doubted me. Yeah, you and the rest of the world doubted me. Are you doubting me now? You're not doubting me now, are you?
Well, we had a chance to watch him in practice last week, and it was evident before they played Canada that Dwyane is back. Great strength. Look at the penetration off the zone. Darren Williams will be a huge factor come Beijing because of the way he plays the international game.
I may be getting myself into trouble saying this, but I want your take on it. This three-headed monster at point guard, Kidd, Paul, Williams, has United States basketball ever been healthier at the point guard position?
Well, you think back to guys like John Stockton and Magic Johnson in 92. That was pretty good. But I think what you have right now in Jason Kidd at 35 years old is I don't think Mike Krzyzewski is going to ask him to play more than 15 to 20 minutes a game. They love his leadership out there. It's like having a veteran quarterback. But you got the two studs in Paul and Williams, arguably the two best young point guards in the world. And so I think they're going to be big factors once it gets really serious. But you can always count on the leadership and the great court vision of Jason Kidd.
Michael Redd, yes. So he takes it strong with the dunk, takes it strong with the lay-in here, and Michael Redd authoring another good game. He's had 2 of 3 strong games in these exhibitions.
When you can put the ball on the floor like Michael Redd as well, your opponents have to, take a look at that and say it's not just a jump shot. See a little 2-3 zone right here by Team USA last few possessions.
And Chris Paul mashes it down. And the bench loving that.
Well, you know what? Some great highlights. But if you're Coach K, You're going to like a lot of things about this game, and obviously the unselfishness, the versatility. There'll still be some things to pick apart as they go to the film room. Now remember, Spain also handled Lithuania very easily a couple weeks ago. And we mention that because Spain is probably the primary competition for Team USA as we set up for Beijing.
Last possession for the United States, under 10 on the shot clock. And Paul yesterday did this and just handed the ball to Turkey. And I wonder if they'll even attempt another shot. They don't. The shot clock is off. 3.6 left in this game.
Well, good sportsmanship. You never want to rub it in. They'll inbound it. Team USA will move on to Shanghai.
Zero's on the clock. That is it. The United States wins this game 120-84. A 36-point victory for Dwyane Wade and Team USA. Wade had 19 points to lead the U.S. And Michael Redd solid off the bench as well with 16. Dwight Howard had 17. And it was another successful exhibition game for the United States. They beat Lithuania 120-84. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Fran Fraschilla and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Rick Kamla. Next up for USA Basketball, they will be in Shanghai, and Fran and I will see you very, very soon with those broadcasts. Kobe up high, and we say so long from Macau.